I'm Carrie Adams, and you're listening to Carrie's Connoisseurs, coming to you from Solid Gold Podcasts. Here we talk to the movers and shakers, the drinkers, the dreamers, and all the people who make it happen in the liquor and luxury industries from around the world.
And yes, Carrie has been telling me jokes. Okay, this is
rude jokes.
Very rude jokes. I won't impart them because there may be some sensitive ears listening in. Anyway, yes, I'm Melanie Walker here in Johannesburg, sitting with Carrie from Carrie's Corner. And of course, joining us from on TV in France, as always, from SAPeople.com, we have Jenni Baxter. And it's a beautiful day, it looks like everywhere. I know, Jen, you said you've been out for a lekker breakfast and it's a beautiful day. And of course, we've just hit the really cold snap here in Johannesburg. You're down to 8 degrees overnight. I mean, really.
It was freezing. I got up in the middle of the night to take my Scotty dog to the toilet. Not to my toilet, to her toilet. And at 1:30 in the morning, it felt like it was sort of -2 degrees.
Yeah.
It was really,
No, it's
really
been pretty
cold.
chilly.
And just for the record,
Yeah.
it's Carrie's Connoisseurs.
Sorry, Carrie's Connoisseurs.
In case you're looking to subscribe, guys,
Do subscribe.
click on Carrie's Connoisseurs.
Yes. Why do I keep on thinking you're still in a corner? Because nobody puts Carrie in a corner.
I'm very out in the corner. I've broken out and I've become a connoisseur.
She's now a connoisseur. Anyway, we're talking about the good and the bad here in South Africa, which is happening with South Africans not only here at home but also abroad. Before we get going, though, I believe from Carrie, and just seen on the news that Derek Watt's unfortunately back in hospital, but he says he's not going to be there for long. He's feeling better, he's feeling stronger, and he'll be out of hospital in no time at all. But once again, Derek, your blondes are rooting for you. Okay.
Yeah,
so
we
please
wish you all the best. Get better soon. Strong,
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of our best boys, I think.
I think so too.
He's
Very tall.
He's sort of like Charlie, and we're his angels, do you think, maybe?
We are Derek's devils.
angels?
Derek's devils.
Okay, that sounds more like it.
Okay, Jen, so what's been happening in the world of SAPeople?
Well, I think the biggest stories this week has definitely been that terrible multi-car crash down near Hilton. But the beautiful thing that came out of it was the community spirit, and, you know, the mayor, Chris Papas from Angeni, released a statement last night just saying thank you to all the community. You know, the town hall was turned into a makeshift place for all the motorists to stay the night, hot meals, blankets. It's just been an outpouring of good human spirit, he said, you know.
I was driving back from the Midlands on Sunday.
Yeah.
In fact, because my family live in the Midlands, and I was there for Easter. And while I was driving back on Monday, I got a message from the family group about this terrible 27 people injured, Lord knows
35
how many.
cars.
It was
vehicles.
an absolute dog show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Apparently
I have to tell
there'd
you
been
something good news is that Chris Papas needs to be given a huge award of sorts. He's just been so amazing for that whole area.
Yeah.
I can see the difference in Howick and surround since that little guy has been in
he's
the
amazing.
office there. He's really fabulous. So
Yeah,
shout out
and he
to
was
them.
amazing.
I'm just
And
really
I think
glad
he-
that I wasn't on the road, I must be honest, because, you know, I saw the video of that. We
Oh,
had it up on
no,
SAPeople.
dog show of monumental
It was absolutely
proportion.
horrific, you know, and
Yeah.
people do, even though it's a 100-kilometer zone, I think people just take it too fast, and then of course you've got low visibility and so many cars on the road.
Do you know what I think?
Yeah.
Hectic.
I think that we need to have a ruling in this country that trucks are not allowed to drive on a road on the Easter weekend.
I've been seeing it, and they're
Absolutely.
allowed on the roads during
On the weekend?
No, not on during rush hour.
Yeah.
Rush hour, and
Yeah.
especially if there's load shedding in specific areas.
Yeah, I know.
Because
that's
that's back with full force again, by the way, Jenny. Just in
I
case you didn't know.
saw up to level 5, which I still don't understand, but
No, neither do we. Thank goodness for Eskom's a push. Push. I mean. Whoopsie.
Bit of a Freudian slip there.
Well, they named it that, not me.
no,
I
no.
think we need to make a move to cancel culture.
I think so too.
Yes.
Especially,
Should we do
did you
that?
see that they've decided now that they're going to cancel Picasso?
Are
My
they?
child just turned
No.
around. Yeah, my child turned around and said, "That's absolutely ridiculous." And now she's 20. She says, "You can't cancel somebody who's dead
What's he being cancelled for? Painting.
for being a misogynist."
Oh, really?
Oh.
But you know,
I
I'm
went
so
to-
over
yeah.
it.
I went to an amazing function on Friday evening. We've got Picasso used to live here, and he died 50 years ago this week. So
Yes.
there was a function here at the museum on the terrace. His grandson was there. It was all and beautiful. All these paintings from the last few years of his life, which most of us had never seen. Just amazing. He's not my favorite artist, but this stuff was spectacular.
Oh, no. They also
Yes,
they want to
brilliant.
cancel him not only for that but also for the appropriation.
Appropriation?
Who
of
did he
what?
appropriate from?
I don't know, but the same thing's been going on now with Liechtenstein. There's been a whole court case with the people who said that he appropriated their comic drawings. But I mean, as other people are saying, he's appropriated it, but he's actually
Made it
not
enhanced.
made it- he hasn't copied it. He's taken the basic idea, and you can see from the original pictures that it is kind of the same look. But I mean, he's done it in a Liechtenstein style. So I mean, then
Yeah.
if we're appropriating nature, I mean, is that fair?
Yeah.
You know,
But I
so
mean, the
it
whole
just
thing
gets
is, yeah.
ridiculous. Gets crazy.
Yeah, we need to cancel culture.
I think so. There we go. Let's make it a thing.
Definitely.
Okay, so while we were talking about good people like Chris Pappas, I mean, I'm just jumping ahead here from expats. Tell us a story about the gift of the givers, because of course Jenni and I are always raving on about how that doctor is just the most
he
amazing
should be.
Suleiman
He
Imtiaz. He's
should
amazing.
be
The
the
president of South Africa.
He
Yeah.
should be the president of America,
He should be the president
of the world.
Of the world, for sure. So it was just, over Christmas, and it's also Ramadan, a holy month at the moment. They have been doing amazing things in South Africa, and of course they were there for the accident and everything. But also, in Yemen, they've been handing out hundreds of food parcels. And this is to people in the hospitals or poor people, sick people. Also in Syria, they still haven't got electricity, which you would relate to.
So what's
since
that?
yeah, since the earthquake, so they've been giving out solar batteries and things like that over there. And then back home in South Africa, they're on a drive, and this is going to continue. This is not the only time they're going to do it, but they have just sponsored 16 dogs for the K2. It is called K2.
K9.
K9.
is the mountain.
Okay,
Second highest mountain in the world.
K2 is the mountain you climb if you've got rocks in your head.
Yes.
I stay at
Okay.
the bottom and drink nice red wine.
K9. 30 K9s have just been sponsored by them for search and rescue and for preventing crime. So, but that's back in South Africa, and they'll be doing it on an ongoing basis. Because
And
You
then,
know,
of course,
they're using dogs for so many things.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
our
they-
dogs went over there for the earthquakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were amazing. They took a
Yeah.
team of dogs over, and those dogs did
and they
so
helped
many
find a
amazing things.
woman. They helped find a woman who'd been buried for days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was still alive. It's
That's
okay.
amazing.
She looked all sad for a moment.
Oh, no, you know me.
It's a happy story.
Yes, it is a happy story. I like
Yeah.
that. Okay, so let's cross over from these parts of the world and go over to New York. What is happening there, Jenni?
Well, if you're a South African in New York, you can very proudly go to Times Square, and there is Loyiso there's a big billboard, the Spotify advert billboard, and he's on at the moment because he's got an album, Seasons. So, I mean, he is so proud. He wrote on Instagram, "Hey, Mama, I've made it to Times Square." And so many South Africans have just been saying how wonderful it is to see him up there, because he was 16 years old when he first went on Idols in South Africa. So he's truly and now he's 24 and he's in New York. It's
Is he
very
living
cool.
in New York?
No, just up on the billboard.
He's a homeboy.
Yeah, but you know who is
Be
living
careful, I'll cancel you.
But that's why he's a homeboy. Like, I'm a homegirl, There we
Yeah.
go. I live in South Africa.
But you know who does live abroad is Chad Leclos. So Chad Leclos. He's based in Germany at the moment, but
this
is
one,
back in
you know
South
who he is.
Africa.
I know who Chad is.
Okay.
And
We
it's
like
his
Chad's
birth-
little body.
Yeah.
Chad's got a really hot little body to look him going through that water like a dolphin.
Okay.
So happy birthday, Chad. He's turning 31.
Is it his birthday?
Yeah, he turns 31 today, and it's the National Swimming Championship in South Africa, and he's going to be there and I think he's already called a veteran, but one of the big stories is that, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Roland Skuman, 42 years old, is making a comeback after 6 years. So at the age of 42, he's going to be there.
Is he also a swimmer?
Yes.
Yes, he won an Olympic medal 3 times.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no,
You can see that I'm not very big on sport.
Yeah, but we're big on bodies.
We like the sporty
And
bodies,
wine.
but yeah.
Lots of wine. And whiskey.
Yeah. And the sportsmen who support us and buy our wine and drink our wine, we like those ones. But sport and wine...
What about rugby?
We like the rugby boys.
We like the rugby boys.
But they
like the
haven't...
rugby.
They didn't do so well this last
No, in the
week.
sevens,
so,
I know. People have been bemoaning the fact and like going, oh, what happened? And like, I'm not going to get into that
What
whole
did
conversation.
happen?
They didn't win. They didn't do very well at all.
Can't
They had a
always win, though, you know.
Yeah, I know, but it would be nice if they did, wouldn't it?
I bet you if they bought some South African red wine and had it before the match, they'd have won.
Some lekker. Some tassies, ek sê.
Anything.
Anything. Okay. All right, but let's go on to local good news. Now, we're talking about Loyiso being high in the sky, and of course, this next story, which I did see, is really interesting. And you know, drones are still something that a lot of us are getting to terms with, and I've seen people flying them, and they use them in movies and in commercials quite a lot, but this one was used for something really good.
Yeah, a search and rescue. So it's the first time ever that Wilderness Search and Rescue has used a drone. There were 2 young hikers, teenagers, and they got caught in this Porcupine Ravine, I think it's called, which is where the 12 Apostles are. It's one of those tight ravines, really dangerous, close to a cliff's edge. And they managed to call for help. And so what the search and rescue teams did is they sent this drone over them that could then, so they could then see where the cliff was, and over the phone could then tell the boys where to go to get to safety. So just
I wonder
amazing.
why people keep on getting lost and stuck in Cape Town while they're walking.
Because they're Capetonians.
You don't
Yeah,
think
they
it'd be a
have been
better idea
following
to
the
stay at
path.
home?
No.
Open a bottle of red wine.
Open a bottle of red wine, yeah. No, I go... I go to an easy one. What we do is we walk up Skeleton Gorge, okay? The Skeleton Gorge is quite easy, and there's always people up and down there. But, I mean, I know that a few people who've come into trouble even on Plutterklip. And there's all these different walks
They
that you
get
can do.
stuck on Table Mountain, for goodness sake.
Well, these are all Table Mountain
Are they?
walks, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think we should ban that. I think we should absolutely
No,
cancel Table Mountain.
I like walking up Table Mountain.
And we should talk about all these cool little wine bars that have opened up in Cape Town. There are about 10. In fact, I think there are 14. Really cool little wine bars that have opened up in Cape Town.
Yeah?
that
in
everybody should know
Long
about.
Street or all around.
Long Street, Kloof Street, that sort of main drag in Sea Point. There's so many of them. You go online, there are 14 new ones. And you know, Cape Town really does sort of spearhead that kind of entertainment in South Africa. I wish we had the same in Johannesburg and Durban and PE and Bloem, but we don't. But having said that, I read something during the week that in about August last year, they reckoned that 75% of SA tourism or Cape Town tourism had been restored after COVID.
Yeah.
And now we're up to almost 95%. And Cape Town is jumping and driving and pumping and pumping and carrying on because everybody... You weren't supposed to notice that.
It's okay, it's one of those days, isn't it?
Everybody's coming to visit Cape Town.
And did you know that they reckon within like a 5-year period, and especially this year, they reckon about 1 million people are going to move down to Cape Town. And in a 5-year period, they reckon about 5 million people will have moved down. I'm just like, where are they going to get the infrastructure? Where are these people going to live? What jobs are they going to do?
It's going to be horrible. I'm going to stay in Johannesburg and go on holiday to Cape Town.
Only in February, because that's the best time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even now. I mean, the weather's supposed to be nice now in Cape Town, but
It's been
I
pouring
think
with
that-
rain, Carrie.
I think that Cape Town, they've had much more rain than they should have had.
Yeah, and we've had rain as well, which is like really bizarre. Well, actually, no, it's
And
not
we've
bizarre,
had
I suppose
none.
We do have rain. Well, it'll come. It'll come. And
Anyway,
then we'll be moaning.
suffice to say that Cape Town is moving and shaking, and there's lots of gorgeous things to do in Cape Town. Lots of new ones. So go online and have a look.
And go
Or
for a
phone
walk
us
up-
and ask us. We'll
Go
ask.
for a walk up Table Mountain, but please
Don't
just
get
do
lost.
it. Just do it properly. Okay, what else have
And,
we got in the
if
way?
you do
Yeah.
get lost, do phone the Wilderness Search and Rescue. They're volunteers and professional, and it's a free service. So that's a great thing in South Africa that, many foreigners don't realize, because in other countries you often have to pay to be saved. So people,
I was gonna say, how do they operate? They obviously have a massive sponsorship from somebody. How do you operate free of charge?
lots
think
of
in the
Like,
world
that's
anymore.
people probably put money towards it.
Donations,
Donations,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's the Mountain Club of South Africa as well are also always on board to help as well if there's somebody who's stuck somewhere, which is great. Okay, so what else have we got in the way of good news for South Africans?
Well, something that you would love is on Monday this week, they launched the Living Roots South African Plant Nursery, which is in Claremont. And it was this discarded piece of land that they've turned into a nursery with just indigenous plants. And it's 10 homeless people who have been trained up to run the nursery. It's a whole campaign by the U-Turn Homeless Service Centre, and their sponsorship, a lot of it comes from the National Treasury. So the budget allows for this, improving South Africa and
I keep
the
saying
lives of
that-
South Africans.
We must teach people to grow stuff. We should
To
garden, to grow your own food, to get into permaculture, to turn your backyard into a food source.
Yeah.
And why not? I mean, it's we've got the most amazing weather to be able to do it wherever we are in the country. And I'm very glad. I mean, even I'm so proud that my one daughter's decided to follow in my footsteps as well and become. She's training to be a.
She's studying horticulture.
Studying horticulture and garden design,
Wonderful.
which is great. So I'm very chuffed about that. Yeah. Lots of people can be heroes in lots of ways, but there are people that are heroes in bigger ways. And I know, Jenni, you've got a couple of stories, I think, about people who have been absolutely amazing.
Like
in helping
real
others.
life heroes. Two guys particularly. There's John Mander, who is a gardener in Royals, and there was an elderly couple driving their car. It caught fire, and the husband had a stroke recently, so he had lost the use of his legs, and wife was screaming but couldn't get him out the car, and John came running and very bravely jumped into this car with that thick black smoke and everything and rescued the man. So he's been applauded.
That must have
And
been a bit of a trigger for you, Jenni. That happened to her a couple of months ago in England. They were driving
On
on
a
the highway in
motorway.
England, and the car caught on fire. It burnt out completely, the car she was in.
Wow, why would a car catch a light, do we think?
I think it was electric. It was an electric fault. We had put on the demisting thingy, and the car used
See,
electric.
it's another good reason to stay at home with a bottle of red wine. Honestly, it keeps on coming back to the same thing.
It's going to be a lot
my
easier now
theme
that
this-
we're going into winter. Okay. Okay, and then you had another one.
And
Another
the other
hero.
guy, yes, from do you say Engen? Is
Yes,
Engen? In Bramley, Joburg, Abdullah James, and everybody said learn his name because what a guy. There was a taxi, the people had all just got in at the petrol station, and it just suddenly caught fire. And one of the doors, it was an old taxi where you couldn't open the door from the inside. So people were trying to jump out the windows, but they couldn't open the door, and there were a lot of people. And this guy, while everybody else was running away from the fire, he ran to the taxi, finally managed to open the door, get the people out, ran and got the stuff. Yes, thank you. Put out the fire, and his colleague helped him. And apparently they get training every year for that, although it's the first time in 8 years anything like that's ever happened. But still, I just love someone, my daughter did it recently as well, someone who can run towards the danger. To help the person, where the rest of us are like, survival mode, get away.
No, I've
So-
also been one of those people running straight for it to go and help people.
I suppose it's
Yeah.
you either fight or flight mode, hey?
Yeah.
Nothing you can
Yeah.
do about it, really.
Yeah.
Fight, flight, or freeze. Yeah.
Or fall down altogether,
Fall
which
down.
would be me.
So it's a fall F. There we go. Fall down. Oh, by the way, and this is a story that I know that you have sent through, which I absolutely love. Because I suffered from pneumonia, like every single year I'd
Me
go down
too.
with pneumonia.
I
And
do
now, a new vaccine from South Africa.
Oh God, now I'm running scared from vaccines at the moment. I don't do vaccines. I'll have wine.
But I had the pneumovac, which would last for 5 years, but this is a new one. So the pneumovac actually stopped me from getting pneumonia.
Did it stop you?
Yes. And now there's a South African one which has come in and it's going to stop thousands of kids from dying from pneumonia, which is a great idea.
And they've done the trials, and I think it's been done by a Wits person. Wits vaccinologist, I think is the right word. And I think it had an 82% how do you say that? Efficacy.
Efficacy.
Yeah.
So you just have to have
Yeah.
it once in your lifetime,
Yeah.
and then it's done.
Yeah, with a pneumovac, you'd need to have it probably every 5 years. So this will do it once and you're done. There we go.
So it's like a real vaccination.
Yes. Yeah, proper. Not like,
Not like
this
one
other
that you've got
stuff.
to have every 3 months.
No, not like
Yeah. Like we've all had to put up with.
Let me explain this to you. Pneumonia is pneumonia. Okay, so it's a specific kind of bacterial thing. Okay. So you get vaccinated
Gotcha.
against that. And it's only one. It's not mutating like all these other flu things. I suppose we should all think about having flu things, but no. And here you've got something in Dahlstrom as well. And I'm thinking about Dahlstrom because, of course, I've got a child up in that area as well.
Have you? She's been
Yes.
bleeding behind the scenes, Jen, while we were watching.
There's only two, and they do this. They're as busy as their mother. Let's put it that way. And the one that's up there is going to be sending you some wonderful pictures because she's been out in the bush taking pictures of animals when she finds
brilliant.
them because she's a trail guide.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully she'll.
Oh,
have some
she must
lovely
be
stuff
so
to share with you.
happy.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
Okay. So
Love
what's
that.
happened in Dahlstrom?
Really good. South Africa's doing really well with its wetlands, which, just proof that we really do need to conserve and preserve land. And it's the Middelpunt Nature Reserve that has been declared a Ramsar site. So that's internationally recognized as a site to protect, a wetland site. And there's crane birds, there's all kinds, there's unknown kind of crab things, there's all these unique animals, insects that are there, and birds and everything. So
Well, the wetlands are the biome which are under the biggest threat in South Africa, with the grasslands being second. So we need to start looking after all of those things. So as I said, become a gardener. There you go.
Make your own wetland.
Yeah, you can. You can make a wetland in your own
We've had
backyard.
so much rain this year that everybody's garden is a wetland.
That's true. All right, so now that we've finished entertaining you, Jenny's going to tell us about how you can be entertained by the stuff on your small screen. So what do the channels have in store for us?
there's so much, but I have to quickly ask you, have you watched Rob Lowe yet in Unstable? Oh, please.
Just send me a reminder. I keep on
Okay.
thinking.
What,
I know-
Rob Lowe, the rugby player?
No, that's what I
No.
asked as well. No, Rob Lowe, the beautiful daddy actor.
Oh, yes, we like Rob Lowe.
We
He's
do
a
like
pretty
Rob
boy.
Lowe.
What's he
He's
doing?
pretty.
Is he on
He-
Showmax?
No, this one is on Netflix, and it's only 8 episodes. Cassie and I have watched it 4 times. It's just so good. He's good looking, of course, but the humor it's just perfect. So
What's
watch
it about? What is it about? Is it
It's
like
really about the father-son relationship, but it also talks about, like, he gives birth to a lawn. It's a lot about environmental stuff too. But
Did
He's
you
on the right track.
ever watch Travels with My Father?
Yes, with,
It was
Jack.
my
Yes.
absolute best thing in the
Jack.
whole world. It was hilarious.
Jack?
Is it like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
no.
Whitehall, or what's his
Vital,
name?
yeah.
Yeah. No, this is fictional, but it comes from the son living in the shadow of his father on a real TV show, and he complained to his agent about, I can never stop being Rob Lowe's son. And so his agent said, well, hey, let's do a TV show about that. So it's fictional, but based on their relationship. And actually,
Well, you just have to teach your kids to turn it around. Instead of him being Rob Lowe's son, his father must be whatever his name is, father. Stop calling
Yeah.
him Rob. Just say,
That was always a fantastic thing about people with Ian Player and Gary Player. And Ian said so many people would go up to him and go, are you Gary Player's brother? And he'd go, no, Gary's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of those
exactly.
things. My brother
Yeah.
had to go through that as well, so he was very excited when somebody turned around and said to me, are you Stuart Walker's sister? So he was very, so what have you got in the way of apart from watching Unstable, which I am going to as soon as I get power back at home again.
Okay.
Unstable's on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's on Netflix. Also on Netflix is a South African show called Unseen. I told Melanie about it last week. I'm too scared to watch on my own. But this week, it is now number 4 worldwide.
Worldwide.
Yeah.
Is it a horror story? Why are you scared to watch on
Yeah,
your
no,
own?
It's
scary.
kind of got some scary bits. I started watching it on my own and got a little scared, but people are loving it. It's a thriller. It's about a lady who's a domestic worker trying to find her husband who's disappeared, and there land up being a lot of bodies that come up, so a lot of murders, but people are loving it. It's the top 10. It's in the top 10 in 39 countries, and altogether Netflix says that it's been watched for 17.5 million hours.
Brilliant.
So, and it's only been on for 2 weeks.
I've got a very sneaky feeling that my friend Cindy Lee was the
Lee's daughter. Yeah.
I'm sure it's
She might have been
Lee's daughter. I think she
producer
was the producer on
or
that show.
director even. Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
she is brilliant. If she was, I'm going to phone her and say congratulations. She's doing such great
Yeah.
work.
Oh,
at the
she is
moment.
doing brilliant work.
Yeah, fabulous.
She's the sister of David,
Who's in America, yeah.
Yeah, but he was the guy that what it was for one of the car ads, and he was the cyclist. Oh no, he was driving, and a cyclist kept on coming up whenever he stopped and holding onto his car, so he didn't have to take his feet up. And eventually, he just went boom, pulled the car backwards, and the cyclist fell over. I remember that ad really well. I loved it. It was so much fun.
No, Cindy's doing great work. So that's called Unseen.
Yeah.
Yes, really, really great South African show. Then on Apple Plus TV, there is My Kind of Country, which is a music competition with Reese Witherspoon as the executive producer. She said, why does country music always just have these Midwest Americans? And so they opened up this competition to the whole world. There are 5 South Africans, and must I tell you who won? It's going to be all in the news. A South African has won the competition.
Really?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Where was it held?
I believe in the US. Yeah,
somewhere in America.
Yeah,
I love shit-kicking music. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. I love
me
Christian
too.
Western music is so much fun.
No, it's my
Yeah.
least favourite, I have
Is
to be
it?
honest. Yeah, I don't enjoy it at all.
Only one I don't really like is sort of that head-banging stuff. I don't listen to that.
Thrash metal.
That Kwaito sort of
Oh,
rap,
no,
rap stuff.
I
Rap
don't
is
listen.
rubbish.
No, it depends. Old rap. We were talking about it the other day. If you think about the Sugar Hill Gang when they brought out
Yeah, it
Rapper's
wasn't too
Delight
bad.
and Debbie Harry with Rapture, the original old rap, and I really enjoyed Public Enemy in like the early 90s as well.
I was never
They
here.
were
And
amazing.
Eminem.
Eminem's
And
great as
Melanie
well.
and
Yeah.
no, I like
But-
Melanie.
But I mean,
It's not very musical music.
I like rock and I like disco and I
I
like
do
funk
too.
and I like soul.
I like everything. I listen to opera. I listen to everything from opera through to rock.
Yeah.
That
And we-
kitty so wants to be on television.
That's another cat. They're all over.
Okay, so
But yeah, so the winner is Michaela, who also was on Idols in South Africa. Michaela Klainsmith, and the judge or the mentor is actually also a South African, but we only recently found out he's South African. Ted always told me he was. I don't know if you've heard of him, Orville Peck.
no.
He wears Peck. He wears like a mask with fringe stuff coming down.
Oh, I know. I've seen a picture of that bloke. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
who you're talking
So
about.
nobody can see his face. I
I know
think
who you're
he's
speaking
based
about.
in Canada now, and I think he went to Canada as a child. But yeah, he's South African, and he said, when he saw Michaela's audition, he started crying, and not because it was sad, but because as a South African, he just got her. He just there's just that thing. So yeah, so he was her mentor, and he's over the moon.
Do you know
that she
another
won.
fantastic success story from South Africa? talking about opera just reminded me that Pretty Yende,
Yeah.
was
Spoken about
asked to
her
sing
before,
at the
yeah.
coronation.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
The King's coronation. How brilliant is that? She is an amazing talent.
Yeah.
Very
Absolutely
proud of Pretty.
amazing.
She's wonderful.
Because wonderful people. I mean, Sholto Copley as well. I mean,
Yeah.
he's playing with Idris Elba.
Yes, and that's
I'd like to
and
play
that,
with Idris Elba.
Wouldn't we
He's
all?
gorgeous.
Are you single by any chance?
No.
Okay, all right.
No,
there you
it's
go.
not. But yeah, so the Beast, well, it's not the Beast, it's just called Beast. Beast is on Showmax at the moment, so you're so lucky you can see it, and with Idris and everybody, and Copley.
What is Beast about?
It's about a family that got out to South Africa on safari because the mother's died and the dad and the children want to recover, and this lion starts stalking them. So it's a bit of a horror.
It's
Yeah,
a bloody horror movie.
yeah, no, it is.
Darkness.
It's meant to be like Jaws, but on safari. Yeah,
On terra firma.
That's all you need. is just
Exactly.
two notes.
Jaws on Earth.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's I think it's of all the global movies in the world, it's number 58, and on Showmax it's the most popular movie. So if you're looking for something to do, watch that. And then Damn, which is also on Showmax and we've spoken about before, Deadline has put it into their global breakout section.
Wow.
So that's getting international, and
Damn,
Deadline is
it's
obviously.
also,
Damn?
it's a horror. It's also another horror. I
Give
haven't
me
watched
something
it.
Everybody's
that's
into
fun
horror.
and happy and beautiful. I
Well,
don't
here
do
they are,
horror.
Smeds and Smurfs. You'd like that.
Smets and watch.
Smeds and Smurfs. I'm sure that's happy because it's aimed at 3 to 6 year olds.
My favourite movie of all time is Happy Feet.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Happy
My
Feet.
child thinks I've gone off my rocker.
No, it's absolutely brilliant because it's a tap dancing penguin.
I
What's not to
know.
love? And of course, I mean, it
And
was
the
one
music's
of
brilliant.
Gregory
and
Hines'
Yes.
No, it's the best.
protege who played the
We
picture.
love Happy Feet.
We love Happy Feet. Oh, and I keep losing my earphones.
I
Sorry.
do too.
Yeah, these things, we keep going.
He's given us these things that are like for the beast to put in his ear.
Okay,
Obviously,
yeah, the
these
beast.
these
Yeah,
are beast ear
So tell us a
cunts.
bit about Smeds and Smurfs so Carrie can watch it.
Okay, well, they're calling it hilarious and charming, and it won the audience award at the New York International Children's Festival. It's now on Showmax, and it was adapted for. It's a lot of it's done by a South African production company, and it was actually adapted from the book by a South African, Julia Smuts-Lowe. So,
So what's it about?
well done to
is
them.
Is it a musical or something like that?
It is about two children who run away from home, and I think they're aliens. So they start going all over the world. But a parent from either side, a grandparent from either side, Smed and Smoo, follow them to try and get them to come back. But in their journey, start discovering how much they have in common, and so it's a feel good. And it's funny.
Good. We need some feel good. We need lots of feel good.
Yes.
And it has a lot of famous people, but I think it's all cartoons, just so that you don't think they went and filmed in outer space. Although, did you see that Elon Musk has released a video this week showing how he plans to land people on Mars in the next 5 to 10 years?
Elon Musk
wonder
doesn't
why.
know it, but I'm going to marry him. I love him. I just think he's so absolutely amazing.
Well, you wouldn't
That
have to worry about
brain.
what to call the child because you're past that age, yeah.
R2D2 or
R2D2,
pi squared
yeah,
or
that would
whatever.
be-
Yeah, I don't know.
Mel,
Pi
you,
is squared. We could call it pi is squared. It's better English.
you have to watch.
Pi is squared.
Yeah.
Carrie.
You have to watch Unstable because they mention Elon Musk in the naming
No,
of
he's
his
so
children.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's a big asset. Now
Yes.
we're going to get shut down in flames
Yeah,
by
we'll be-
everybody.
And we
Elon
won't
Musk,
care.
blah,
You
we
can try
don't
and
care.
cancel us, we don't care.
See if we care.
Yeah, we don't care. Anyway, what we do care about is the fact we're running out of time, unfortunately. So, of course, what we want to know from Jenni right now is what do you have coming up in the way of big stories for SAPeople.com in this week?
Well, maybe Carrie can actually send me a couple of things. What we have coming up is Franschhoek. And it's won so many awards. It's really the fabulous part of South Africa to visit right now, whether you're abroad or in SA. We've got some brilliant photos of vineyards there. There's the
know what we
mystery
can do,
tours
Jen?
coming up. Mystery tours that
gonna
people can
say-
go to.
What we can do for Franschhoek, the three of us, is just this week, I was asked to go down and, in my capacity as a whiskey specialist, do something for the Franschhoek Literary Festival, book festival, which is happening on the 20th of May.
Okay.
So we'll speak about that, and I'll tell
Okay.
everybody. But there's a fabulous whole load of things going on.
Brilliant.
In Franschhoek for the literary festival, so I can certainly help you with that.
And they've got mystery tours,
Excellent.
which sounds like a good thing for me.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get caught and stuck in a mountain.
Yeah.
We can phone a drone person. They can come and get you out.
Yeah, and we'll give them the coordinates.
Yeah.
And we'll just hover.
In fact, we might make her wait a little bit longer.
And I'll
Jen,
just
you'll
drink
have
red
a
wine.
bottle of wine
Yeah.
while we leave her down the gorge.
I'll go with my bottle of wine with me. How's that? Okay, so then also you've got something here about something else that you can drink. And I don't know, I mean, a lot of people are very kind of anti maybe eating these, but I have eaten Mopani worms. And Carrie's saying she doesn't eat anything that doesn't have eyelashes, so that's not going to help you. But what are they doing with making ice creams out of Mopani worms?
Oh my God.
But you know, Mel, you and I actually had Mopani worms
We had Mopani
together.
worms at Thornybush,
yeah.
I
So-
did other things at Thornybush, but I didn't.
Okay, we don't want to. All right. Whoa.
But yeah, they're using them more and more. And it was on Carte Blanche this week, and we're going to have more on SAPeople. They're using them in milkshakes and ice cream because of the protein. You know, everybody's wanting more protein, and Mopani worms.
Why not just eat a good steak?
People can't afford it.
So, yeah, true. I
What
think
do they
I think
taste
you
like?
don't really want an ice cream steak,
They
but
taste
an
like,
ice
kind
cream.
of like boerewors. We had it done in a lovely
Boer.
tomato mix. It was lovely.
Yeah,
They
I
were
remember
good.
the
They were very good.
sunset.
Are they
And-
crispy? Do they crisp them up?
Well, they did
Yeah.
it so that they'd crisp them up and then they
Like
had cooked
deep
them
fried,
again.
stir fried Mopani?
No. It was in a tomato bready. It was lovely.
And do they do
Yeah.
it with the dirhams and everything in it? So they don't fillet it or anything like that?
No.
It's a Mopani worm.
So you're eating worm dirhams,
Yes.
basically?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you not eaten an earthworm in your life?
Never. I run away from them. They've
Did you
got
not
no
eat flying
eyelashes.
ants?
Never. Why would you do that when there's food in the fridge or
Because some people
there's
don't
an
have access to that kind
avocado
of
pear
food.
hanging on a tree?
Yes, I know. And, well, not anymore because people keep on stealing them off everybody's trees. But anyway.
We haven't got apples, I haven't got any fruit anymore.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. Jenny and I really do say that you should try Mopani worms if you haven't had them before. Okay. Right, so
Unless
that's
you're
what's-
vegan.
Unless you're vegan, yeah. Then you can't have these milkshakes either. No, she says she's oviparous. I'm like,
I'm
so you lay
oviviparous.
eggs. Oviviparous. She's not herbivorous
not
or anything.
Herbivorous or carnivorous or omnivorous. If I could choose, I'd be oviviparous. But just the yellow part of the egg.
So if you like your egg white omelets, well then Carrie's the person to hang out with, okay? Because
Yeah.
then she will eat the yellows and you can eat
Meringues.
the...
You can have all the meringues. I'll
No,
have
I
all the
don't eat
omelets.
egg white, so I'm also like you. I just
Yeah.
have the yolk.
Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. So I hope you've enjoyed the bit of the musing from Derek's Devils. And of course, Jenny and I will be back again next week with more wonderful news from the world of South Africa in sapeople.com. Jenny, thank you so much. Have a beautiful week. Carrie, thank you for amusing us no end today.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm going to make you two come on my podcast one
I
day.
think so. I'll drink wine with you anytime.
We'll drink wine.
Okay, and of course, if you have any great stories that you'd like to share with the world of Saffers, well, then get hold of Jenny on sapeople.com or on the Facebook page and share your good news with us. We'll catch you again next week. Bye, Jen.
Bye. Thank you. Bye, Carrie.
Bye.
Another production from Solid Gold Podcasts.